Let's talk about culture and identity and the things that make us us. When we hear the word culture, we often think of our heritage, like I'm Mexican or African American. But culture is so much more. Culture are the customs, practices, traditions, and social norms that make up a social group. And it can be so many different things. That's what we're going to talk about today. While culture is made up of our traditional values and our belief systems, it's also comprised of so much more. Our languages, the sports we watch or play in, the clothes we wear, the TV shows that we watch, and even the music that we listen to all tell us about a culture. And these vary from group to group, city to city, home to home. Even comics are a culture. Marvel or DC, anyone? Have a favorite superhero? You're part of a social group that has a culture. Even sports is a culture all its own. Sports fans have a certain way of acting, ways of doing things, traditions for sports only. So it's not just things like religion and your traditions, it's so much more. And while culture is made up of more than just our religion and our traditions and our beliefs, religion is still a big part of a lot of our cultures, and we can't discount that. Whether you're Catholic or Sikh, you're part of a culture. Culture varies from place to place, whether it's from country to country, state to state, city to city, or neighborhood to neighborhood. Every place is different and has its own culture. For example, if you're in Sanger, it's a different way of life and a different way of living and a different viewpoint than, say, living in New York City. All of these components in regards to culture and so many more that we didn't even talk about are the pieces that help us create our identity. Our identity is how we view ourselves and how we display ourselves to others. It's those little pieces that we put together to make us who we are. Much like we are a part of many cultures, we can also have many identities. Maybe when you're in school, you act a certain way, but when you're at home, you have a different identity and act a different way. Or the perfect example might be language. When you're in school, you typically use a more academic language, but when you're at home, you might use slang. So, what are you made of? What cultures do you belong to? What identities do you have? What makes you you?